Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. It's time for another fragrance buying guide. Today we're taking a look at the house of Fragrance World. So I've already done some clone fragrance house buying guides before. Lattafa, Maison Alhambra, even though it's kind of the same thing, Armaf. And now Fragrance World, which is also going to include French Avenue, since French Avenue is also Fragrance World. So today I've got for you guys 15 different clone fragrances. I'm gonna let you know how much you should expect to pay for each one of these, what they're clones of, and which ones are the best of the bunch. All of these are going to be linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. Let's get started. The first fragrance I'm going to share with you guys is one that's been a little bit hard to find until here recently, and it is this one, Mirage Absolu, which is technically underneath their French Avenue name. And this is one that you have to really be careful for in terms of the price point, because some places are charging a lot of money for this, at least as far as clone fragrances are concerned. I've seen it go for like $70, $80. Now, when it's readily available in stock, which this one does have a tendency to sell out from time to time, but when it's available in stock at discounters, as of this video, it's about 40 bucks. You know, maybe 41, 42, but right around $40 is what you should expect to pay for this one. So if you see it for, like I said, 70, 80, even more, don't pay that. And the reason that it is jacked up a lot of times is because it's amazing in terms of the quality. And it's, like I said, sometimes difficult to find because it sells out from time to time. And so of course people are gonna try to scalp it. Now what this is a clone of is LAYTON EXCLUSIF from Parfums de Marly. And I gotta tell you guys, it is fantastic. As of right now, if you're looking for a LAYTON EXCLUSIF clone, in my opinion, this is the best one. It's got that really nice, sexy, sweet, warm, spicy scent profile. So LAYTON EXCLUSIF, of course, a little bit darker, slightly more animalic than the original LAYTON is. And like I said, this leans more toward that LAYTON EXCLUSIF side of things. Now, Althair came out with a LAYTON EXCLUSIF alternative also, named Detour Noir EXCLUSIF, and that one's good as well, but that one leans a little bit closer towards smelling like normal LAYTON. So this one is gonna get you closer to actual EXCLUSIF. Really good performance, very high quality. This is one of the best ones that they've put out. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way also. It's Liquid Brune. This is also technically French Avenue. And I would say this is probably Fragrance World's biggest release so far. In terms of pricing, you're gonna be looking at, as of this video, about $35 US, which is coming down. It used to be a little bit more than that, but now you can find it regularly around that price point. This one is a clone of Parfums de Marly's ALTHAIR, so 2 PDM clones in a row here, and this is just about spot on. ALTHAIR is one of those fragrances that's pretty popular. It's got a number of different alternatives out there, and it looks like even more are gonna keep on coming. It's just one of those fragrances, kind of like Angel Share or Baccarat Rouge 540, that just keeps spawning out alternatives, right? Just more and more clones coming down the pipe. But this one is the most popular and has kind of maintained that popularity even with the other ones coming out. Really warm, sweet, very good performance, another one with great quality. And who knows, as time goes on, maybe a better alternative comes out. But as of right now, if someone were to ask me, I want a clone of ALTHAIR, this is the first one I'm telling you to get. 35 bucks, great quality, great performance, great projection, everything you want. Now, I forgot to say this before, but the prices that I'm quoting you are from fragrance discounters. So we're talking Fragrance Buy, JOMASHOP, Fragrance Net, places like that. You could also find these through Amazon, through eBay, just a bunch of different places. But generally, the best prices are going to be found at those major discounters. And the price can actually vary from discounter to discounter. So it does make sense if you're looking for like one specific one that you cross shop a little bit, see where it's cheapest. Because I have seen sometimes where these fragrances will be, you know, 30 bucks at one place and then like 45 at another. And if you do shop at any of those discounters that I mentioned, here are some codes you can use to save even more money. So the JOMASHOP codes only work within the app, and they change every couple months or so. And then of course there's Fragflex, the perfume box, Max Aroma, and more. And a lot of those stores like Triple Traders have a ton of clone fragrances. So you can use those codes to save yourself a little money. Let's keep with this same bottle style here. Up next, Azure Oud, or is it Azure Oud? So you may think, because this is in the same bottle style as this last one, and we've spoken about 2 PDM clones already, that this one would also be a Parfums de Marly clone, but it is not. It is a clone of Oud Maracuja from Maison Crivelli. Yeah, kind of a random switch up, right? So this one's interesting. It's very zingy, fruity, sweet off the top. There's passion fruit in there, among other fruity notes. There's also rose and saffron, oud, leather, along with additional woody notes and even more sweets as it dries down with vanilla and benzoin. It's pretty strong. This is one that lasts a long time, projects heavily. It has a pretty large focus actually on that tropical fruity sweetness from the opening lingering down into the dry down with that oud kind of bubbling underneath the whole time. And even though it is more tropical, it's definitely more of a fall winter time fragrance because of that power and just the overall make up the breakdown of the scent. So that one is Maison Crivelli Oud Maracuja if you're looking for an alternative to that. But that's not the last bottle in this style that we're gonna look up. No, there's also this one. This is Coco Morado. And I think I forgot this, but Azure Oud, about 34 bucks. So roughly the same price as Liquid Brune. Sorry about that. And I apologize if my voice is still messed up, still dealing with the after effects of the good old pneumonia. But I feel better for the most part. So this one being the newest of the whatever this bottle style lineup is called, because honestly I'm not sure what this line is called. It's just the bottles that look like that. That's what I call them. That works, right? It's pretty good, right? They got different colors. That one's blue, that one's purple. I don't know. But this one is the newest of the bunch, so it's a little bit more expensive. It's about 41 bucks as of this video. I would imagine as time goes on that drops a little bit and gets it more in line with these, but right now, a little bit pricier. And this one is another Maison Crivelli. It's Oud Cadenza. So a little bit interesting. We got Parfums de Marly and then Maison Crivelli, Maison Crivelli. In terms of notes, there are a bunch of them. Let me share some with you here really quickly. There's cinnamon, saffron, nutmeg, cardamom, myrrh, dates, oud, incense, caramel, sugar, leather tonka, and labdanum. And there's actually more past that, but I don't feel like reading anymore. Reading's hard. This one, like Oud Cadenza, kind of an interesting one. Lots of notes there, some of them imparting sweetness, but maybe not quite as sweet as you would expect, because when you see sugar and saffron and dates and caramel, you're expecting like a bomb of sweetness, but it's not crazy, actually. It's spicy, it's warm, a little bit smoky, dry, leathery. Quality is insane for a fragrance at this price point. It is super high, and it is a killer alternative to Oud Cadenza. The question is, do you want an alternative to Oud Cadenza? If yes, check that out. But understand that as far as just overall mass appeal, Liquid Brune is gonna be the king of these three. After that, let's talk about Tobacco Myth. This one is from Fragrance World, not French Avenue. Does that matter? No, it does not. In terms of price, about 28 bucks. So this one on the more affordable side of things. And in case you couldn't tell by the packaging style here, that is an alternative to Mystery Tobacco from Carolina Herrera, which the only way you wouldn't know that is if you had never seen a bottle of Mystery Tobacco, because it's got a similarity, but we'll say that much. And this is one I absolutely adore. Mystery Tobacco, I think, smells amazing, absolutely fantastic, but it is very pricey. If you've never smelled Mystery Tobacco, it's kind of in that wheelhouse of like Mancera Red Tobacco, Parfums de Marly, Carlisle, stuff like that. It's not as aggressively in your face and kind of messy as Red Tobacco. It's not like that. It's definitely smoother, richer, more elegant, but still has a nice sweet aspect to it. Maison Alhambra has this one, which is Exclusif Tobacco, which is also very well done. But between the two, I do prefer the Fragrance World iteration. To me, it comes across with just a little bit more depth, a little bit more body, overall higher quality. But this one is also solid. After that one, we have After Effect, which is yet another one where you take a look at it and you know right away what's going on, right? I mean, kind of obvious. So this one is another French Avenue, and After Effect is a clone of Side Effect. I know, never would have guessed, right? Price-wise, about the same as this one, 28 bucks or so. It is sweet, it is strong, it is potentially headache-inducing if you spray too much on, just like the fragrance that it is an alternative to. To be fair, it says right there on the front, Extrait de Parfum, so you kind of know to expect that going in. So in terms of notes, this one has rum, it's got tobacco, cinnamon, sandalwood, saffron. It's a really well done alternative to Side Effect, but do understand it's not the exact same. There's a little bit of a powdery nuance here, going along with all of that sweet spiciness that it has, but it still is one of the better alternatives out there for Side Effect on the market that you can get, especially when you consider it's under 30 bucks. It's pretty cheap. After that one, let's talk about Enigma Une. This is a clone of Sauvage Elixir from Dior. In terms of price, about 33 bucks or so. So kind of in the mid-range of all the ones that we've talked about so far. It does have a squeaky bottle when you squeeze it. So that's cool. And when it comes to Dior Sauvage Elixir, the fragrance that gets thrown out the most is Lattafa Assad, as being the most popular alternative to that scent. Now, if you put this up side by side with Assad, Enigma Une smells closer to Sauvage Elixir than Assad does, just in terms of like a 1-to-1, like if you're trying to get as close as possible. This is closer. That being said, this is also not as strong as Assad, and it's also not as strong as Sauvage Elixir. So obviously that's gonna be a problem for a lot of people out there because they're looking for something really powerful when you're talking about a Sauvage Elixir alternative, because Sauvage Elixir is really powerful. But as far as that woody, spicy aspect of Sauvage Elixir, this captures that better than Assad, but it's more expensive than Assad, and it's noticeably weaker than Assad. So for some people, this is gonna work out great if you're looking for something that, like I said, has that woody, spicy aspect of Sauvage Elixir really nailed down, but you don't actually want it to be as strong. I know some people are like, sacrilege, what are you talking about? Don't want it to be as strong? What is wrong with you? But there's gotta be at least a few people out there who are like, hey man, I'd prefer to have it a little more mellow. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. If that's what you think, that's fine. But yeah, that's what that's gonna be, so beware that. But that's not their only clone of Sauvage Elixir. They also have this one, which does look familiar. So this one is called Just Aswad, and yeah, it basically looks like Lattafa Assad, doesn't it? As far as the presentation style, I don't think anybody can say anything otherwise. Now this one is actually cheaper than Enigma Une. This is about 25 bucks from discounters. Sometimes you can find it a little bit less than that. So this is like in line with what Lattafa Assad costs, right around there. This also does a really good job of cloning Sauvage Elixir. It's a little bit sweeter, you know, not quite as heavy on the spicy, woody aspect. I mean, it's still there, obviously, just not as much as this guy right here. And this right here is stronger than this. So if you spray these on the same time, same amount of sprays, same amount of fragrance, this is gonna project longer, it's gonna last longer, it's gonna project further, project longer, what? But it's gonna project far. And maybe I'll do like a Sauvage Elixir clone battle at some point, just line them all up and do a smell and rate or something like that. But I would say to my own taste that this one is better than Enigma Une, just as far as what most people are probably looking for. Cost less, bigger performance, that little twist it has makes it more appealing for a lot of people. And this one is just as good as Assad. It gets overlooked because it came out after and kind of copied the bottle style, but outside of that, really good. And then there's this one, Just As Rock, which again, very similar looking. And you would think that this is Assad Zanzibar, right? Same bottle style, same color scheme, but it is not. It does not smell like Assad Zanzibar. Actually, to me, smells 10,000 times better than Assad Zanzibar, but that's not exactly apples to apples, is it? Not really fair, I guess. This one's about 21 bucks, so on the cheaper side of things, and it smells like Invictus Victory Elixir, and it is stupid good. Maybe slightly more tropical than Invictus Victory Elixir, but right in that wheelhouse. You know, that very appealing, sexy vanilla opening. That has this. Big compliment puller, good performance, amazing bang for your buck. The quality very, very high for basically a $20 scent. Which sometimes some of you out there need to think about that. You'll buy something that's 20 bucks and you'll be judging it like it's a $200 fragrance. But for 20 bucks, man, that is insane. In terms of what they can pack in there, what they give you, that's one of the better ones. But I'm also a big fan of Invictus Victory Elixir, so I really like that for that reason as well. If you hate Invictus Victory Elixir, you're probably not gonna like it. But if you do like Invictus Victory Elixir, that little twist this has, fantastic. From there, let's hop on over to this Lumiere Garçon, which has kind of a weird presentation. So it's got this big cap and it's fuzzy. I'm not a massive fan of these kind of like that velvety, fuzzy feeling caps and boxes. I know a lot of fragrance brands have done it. I just don't like it. It's like a texture thing. Ugh. Stop it. This one is about $35 from discounters, and it's a clone of the One Luminous Night. Now it's not the exact same as the One Luminous Night. It has like an increase on the incense, so it's a little bit smokier than the One Luminous Night is, but that's really the main difference. Outside of that, it's very close. That date note is in here, very sexy, sweet, decadent, but not overly sugary or anything. Really, really good quality once again. And it's kind of crazy there aren't more well-done Luminous Night alternatives out there. Because the One Luminous Night came out, everybody loved it, then it was impossible to find, and it's still impossible to find. So yeah, difficult to find, people love it. This one for 35 bucks, the best bet you're gonna have right now, getting that scent profile for cheap. They also have another one, Moonlit Night, the one and only, but between the two, I would take this one. Then we got Royal Blend. This one, about 31 bucks. And you can probably tell what that is. That is Angel's Share. Yeah, they're not exactly hiding it. And this one, guys, one of the best. Now, when it comes to Angel Share type fragrances, a lot of times people will go to Lattafa Camera, and then that's it, right? They say Camera, that's the best one. And Camera is an amazing smelling fragrance. Absolutely love that stuff. It's a little bit similar to Gisa Sava or Angel Share with a twist, you could say, talking about Camera. This one gets you closer to just actual Angel Share. It's gonna get you closer to being that instead of, you know, with a big twist or a change or this or that. Quality, again, insane for $30. Like, this stuff is really absurdly good. So this is also, I'd say, one of the better ones that they have out. From all these lined up here right now, I would say, for me, like the best bang for your buck, just like the pinnacle of quality that they have, I'd say this one, this one, and then for on the cheap side, this one. But we still got more to go. Like this one, Royal Blend Nero, about $33, very slightly more expensive than Royal Blend. And this one is Gisa Sava. So you remember what I said, that Camera, you know, kind of gets compared to Gisa Sava or Angel Share with a twist, kind of, because that's kind of what Sava is. That's what this is. So depending on your taste, you may find this one to be superior. You may find this one to be superior. This, talking about Royal Blend Nero, definitely has more of that fruity, sweet aspect to it. So almost like those dried fruits, dried spiced fruits, they come across much more strongly here. Whereas with Royal Blend, you're gonna be looking at more of that boozy aspect, like from Angel Share. Both smell amazing, both have very good performance, quality very high. They are similar in a number of ways. So I mean, you can't say that like these are completely different and have nothing in common. There's a little bit of redundancy, but they also give you kind of two sides to the same coin, so you can wear the one that you like a little bit more for whichever situation you find yourself in or whatever your mood is. They are different enough that when you smell them, you can tell which is which. It's not like you're gonna confuse them or anything like that. It's just at the end of the day, that scent profile is similar. And I would add this one into the other ones that I said are like the top of the class. Then we have Spectre Ghost, which is Nishane's Ani. About 33 bucks on this one. I think the price on this has actually climbed ever so slightly over time, because if I recall correctly, when I got that one, I think it was like 25 or something. I could be misremembering that, but that's what I feel like. Because it wasn't really known at the time, but yeah, check out the atomizer, it's pressurized. Cap is not magnetic though. But oh, guys, like that's Ani. Another one with massive performance, amazing smell, amazing quality. One of the best ones that they put out, which, you know, makes sense. It is very popular, this one, for that reason. And it does occasionally sell out. You know, the ones that are like really crazy popular, those are gonna be the ones that kind of come into stock, out of stock, into stock, out of stock. Like I said before, don't overpay for any of these. The prices that I'm giving you should be your benchmark, okay? So if you see it for like double that, understand that's too much. That goes for any of these. And even if it's sold out everywhere that you usually shop, still don't pay a crazy amount. It'll come back into stock eventually. When it does, you can get it for a normal price. And I'm not getting up on a soapbox, but that goes for anything. Like if there's a clone fragrance that comes out or whatever, and it gets a lot of hype, everybody's talking about it, everybody's like, oh, it's the best, it's the best. Don't overpay for it. It's never good. So yeah, back to this one. If you like vanilla fragrances, if you like Nishane, Ani, then check this one out. It is extremely well done. And for that fragrance, this is the first one I would point you to. Then there's also Spectre Wraith, totally cool name. So there's the original Spectre, Spectre Ghost, Spectre Wraith. Next one, maybe Spectre Ghoul. That would be cool. Yeah, Ghoul. Spectre Goblin. Spectre Ghouls and Goblins. But for now, we'll just stick to the ones that they have. This one's also about 33 bucks. So pretty much the same as that one over there. This is newer than that one. And this is a clone of Black Phantom, which is by Killian. And this one is for the lovers of coffee out there. So just like Black Phantom, very coffee forward, very zingy, a little bit dark, hence the all blacked out bottle. It's gonna be more for like a particular crowd, just like Black Phantom. But in terms of quality, once again, very well done. And last but not least, we have Grandeur. Yeah, this one about 37 bucks as of this video. Not quite as easy to find as the others. You can still find it, it's just not as readily available. And this one is Ganymede, in case you couldn't tell. It is very well done. It has that mineral kind of sweetness off the top, that leather aspect underneath, like ozonic, fresh, clean, bright, not overly sweet. There are a couple of other Ganymede alternatives out there that lean more into like a very, as I said, sweet opening, which can kind of like upset the balance of the fragrance for some people and make it less appealing. This one doesn't do that. This one keeps it more into the mineral water, slate, rock kind of style. I really enjoy it. I think it's very well done. And this one is gonna be for those people who are looking for more of just like a straight up Ganymede clone instead of Ganymede with a twist. So there we go, guys. 15 fragrances. First part of the clone guide for Fragrance World. There you have a lot more. So I'll make a part 2 at some point and cover 15 different ones. But that will do us for now. Thank you for hanging with me, guys. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See ya.